funny. Before I even really did the pitch or asked him if he was interested in being a part of it, he was just like, "I'll throw money at you."
Marketplace where some illicit substances could be sold, and many libertarians feel that the way that was handled,
I don't care.
On a reason was
I'm
very,
bored.
very wrong. That he has life in prison and he should be.
This is fair. Okay, these guys suck.
Let's get to some people dying.
Let's.
I want dead babies. Let's get dead babies.
Dead babies?
I'm calling the cops.
To our second story about who is going to college. Enrollment among young Americans has been...
Bro, no. Hang on. If it's about who is going to college, and then it cuts to a dog on campus. And it's like Air Bud, Air Bud goes to college. No, he's in college.
That decrease mostly...
There's no Air Bud lacrosse.
Have you seen Inside Job? No, the animated show Inside Job.
It's an animated show.
It's excellent. It's really good. You should watch it. It's literally they are a secrets, like one of the they're called Cognito Inc. It's basically a stand-in for the CIA, and their big rival is the Illuminati. And they like do all this. There's like Black Ops secret shit, but it's like a meme show. It's great. I described it awfully, but you should watch it. It's great. But they do something about Air Bud. That's why I'm bringing it up. There's a whole episode about the dog growing opposable thumbs and taking over the earth. It's very funny.
Driven by fewer young men pursuing degrees. A Pew Research study finds there's about 1 million fewer young men now enrolled in college as compared to 2011. We took a closer look at why. That's the second part of our focus tonight on Rethinking College.
Interesting.
Tomorrow morning in Brentwood, New York, Yordi Velasquez will graduate.
It's crazy because like Fudge is an avatar that's a brick, but then people who are actually bricks come in here and make comments too.
High school, but like a growing number of young men.
The thing about all these people is it's very easily solved with one hero taking the choice to put a bullet through their head. That's the best part. Is all of this can change with one person who wants to sacrifice themselves for the greater good of humanity. That's the best part. Could happen in China, could happen in North Korea, could happen in Russia.
It happened in Japan, am I right?
And if Putin goes, that oligarchy is going into chaos. Nothing's coming out of that.
He won't even let people close to him because of all the poison.
It's insane.
I'm actually curious about the line of succession with the CCP. Although they would actually they
would probably collapse because he's centered it all around himself so much at this point. He is the center point.
They might actually vote to a degree. They might come together to argue and have a discussion on who it should be, and might actually do a vote.
Yes.
So
when I say collapse, the party as it sits right now would collapse. It would go back to what it was, because what we've seen over.
Look, bro, do you know that they couped Ukraine? Guess who was there? Me. I was there on the ground.
Oh my god. Hold on. I have a.
And also, no, we're not aligned with the U.S. government. Crazy.
I have a soundbite for this.
I know more than you.
Yeah, exactly.
College isn't in his immediate plan.
I started looking into college.
These fucking anyone who comes in oppositional, they can only go A/B thinking pattern.
Yeah, it's only ever if it's this, it's this. If it's that, it's that.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking if you don't believe this, you must align with this. I think Breakthrough News is live at the moment. You can go watch them. They might suit you're thinking a little more.
Decide on what I wanted to do. I didn't know where I would get the money from.
It's just funny,
and
because it's just funny because the shit with al-Qaeda in me is just it never makes me not laugh when people try to like make that accusation.
Yeah, it's so funny.
I just think it'd be better if I started working immediately.
Raised by a
Well, yeah, and this is basically what I'm saying is that Xi is essentially another Mao. He's creating uncertainty and chaos within the
Mhm.
party, and people are just closing ranks around him because it's the easiest thing to do. They just want to maintain their power. They don't want to lose their cushy upper class management class role, right? They want to retain their standard of living. So they live modestly. It's not modest. They just don't flaunt it, and then they project morals onto the society by knocking down influences and stuff that are getting too big and start flaunting their wealth and are like, haha, this is like America, we can't do this. Meanwhile, the Chinese government is literally doing that. So it's just like the whole thing is centered around him. There's so much chaos in this is my opinion, right? There's so much chaos.
They also purged somebody who could succeed him, who was the predecessor.
Yes.
You know,
They always purge people, and always the last like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, probably since 2012 actually, right? 2008. When was Beijing? When were the Olympics? Oh wait, I think it was 2008.
Oh, you
So
didn't address
ever
that
since
comment.
2008.
You can't take it down if you didn't address it.
I will address it. I'm just so since like 2008. So what's that? 18 years, nearly 2 decades. They have centered the party around Xi Jinping, his fascist policies and control and all of this stuff. I think if he was to go, realistically, they would just revert back to pre-Xi taking over. They would realize what's been going wrong, and they would start opening up. I think you would see a lot of civil rights come to China. Is basically what I'm saying. They would become a bit more like Vietnam.
It would be. It's just how it's like it's like the Star Wars. They rhyme, So it'd be like because he's reflecting Mao, the next guy will reflect Deng. It would be like the
it could possibly go
it'll
that way.
be like the next Deng.
Could possibly.
Okay, you ready? You're pretty US aligned because you're against governments, bro. Don't you know? I liked what was funny is last stream when we weren't criticizing North Korea for giving Russia weapons at all. Like there was not even once. Not one criticism. We were actually criticizing the Americans for the double speak, how they're crying and acting like it's such a big deal. Like, oh my God, weapon facilitation.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, states selling weapons to each other. Wow. Such a big deal. As for this, I don't want the Chinese leadership gone. I want Xi Jinping gone, specifically the fascist in power. Just like I want Putin, the dictator of Russia, gone, so the people of Russia have a chance to thrive. Just like I want the Ayatollah of the Islamic regime gone, so the Iranian people can thrive. You see, there's a trend here, one that you can't comprehend because you're just like, I'm a statist. Government must exist. Shut the fuck up.
Single mother who also cares for his disabled brother. Velasquez says he plans to become.
That Russians actually want Putin as their political leader. Did you ever think of that? Do you ever think that even though there's no democracy or representation to back it, and this is just claimed, do you ever think that it could be true?
Yes. Crimea voted for Putin. Yeah, definitely didn't ethnically cleanse the region and then bust Russians in and
yeah, bro, there's literally video of them going in the fucking place with guns.
Actually, you should not go anywhere. We've got a video later on that will show Georgians equating what happened to them in 2008 to what Russia is doing to Ukraine. These are people who lived through Russian occupation, lived through a Russian invasion, and then are now seeing the similarities in another Russian invasion of imperial conquest. Go fuck yourself.
We're
I'm a
actually
certified
gay, but
HVAC
whatever.
technician. He hasn't ruled out going to college one day, but says it simply doesn't make sense right
the people
now.
of Russia just
The fact
voted
that
for
I'd have to
Putin freely.
pay.
Sure did, bro.
Yeah. What were the results again? 98%? Yeah. Notorious democracies vote 98% in favor.
Sounds like it.
Even though I don't know what I want to do, and that I might not even get a job in the field that I want.
He's not alone. Last year, among high school graduates in the U.S., only 57% of men have enrolled in college.
At least
That's compared to
Iran
65% of
actually
women.
holds elections. You know?
But they just select the candidates.
Well, sure, but they have been open about it in the past, letting more you know, like they literally like let the people that were more like aligned. It's really the green movement, the green revolution, where they're like those people were pushed off the ballot, and when people started getting pissed. But like you know, like with like by no means is Iran a democratic country, right? It actually might be as high as Russia on this biased chart, this biased website that can just give us a grading on a scale. Anyway, there's no like you don't see like footage of people going to the polls. Like when we cover every election globally, right? We cover India elections. All it is people at the polls.
Yeah.
Russia, it's staged things at polls, stuff like that. It's not an abundance of footage that's clearly showing a democratic process taking place. Yeah. Iran, on the other hand, can show that because they actually have people that do go out and vote and they don't rig it. Like they actually do, because it doesn't matter because the supreme leader has authority anyway, you know? And it's like, what's stopping Russia from like having the prime minister like under Putin, like have some democratic like process, you know?
Oh, they disqualified him, and then what was it? They
yeah, but fuck Alexei Navalny too.
No, I know it's not the point, but
you suck.
Maybe the problem is the state.
Remember when Russia used to use dioxin? Classic, you know? Those were the days. Yeah. They fucking used it on the president of Ukraine.
No, I know. I'm saying they probably still do.
Oh, no. They only use the fucking sarin derivative now. They're too classy for that shit. You know? No, they do use other poisons too. So, you know, because like the first time they poisoned Navalny twice. The second time was with a nerve agent. I don't know what the first one was. You know? And then I wonder what they poisoned the president of Afghanistan with. Navalny was an intelligence asset. Who cares? He was a fucking fascist.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't give a shit who he worked for, regardless.
Navalny was
Fuck
a piece
him.
of shit.
Fuck
that
him.
guy. He's dead.
Good. I still don't think that anyone should have nerve agent used on him.
No.
You know, like do cyanide or something less painful at least.
Yes,
bullet to the brain.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah.
Back nearly 3 decades. Every year.
Oh look, Ukrainian Nazis. Like have we hit them all yet? Wait, where did Fudge said was it Fudge? Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Look, we're hitting them all. What's next? What's next?
Crazy.
What point are we hitting next?
I actually got to interview those Nazis.
The right sector.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
Here
talking about
1996.
He probably doesn't even know what right sector is.
Well, I mean,
women have entered
they're non-existent now. You know,
college at higher rates than men.
The education system as a whole doesn't seem.
You ever
to be
look at the voting rates of the Nationalist Party in Ukraine?
For girls.
Richard Reeves is the author of Boys and Men: Why the Modern Male is Struggling, Why It Matters, and What to Do About It. Men are falling behind in education. The education gap is bigger now than it was back in 1972 when Title IX
I'm just
passed.
doing Wikipedia because it's organized.
The main reason for that is that it's through the education system.
Okay.
Girls are outperforming boys. So you can see it from the beginning, from kindergarten.
So this is the literal, it's literally basically a fascist party. It's a proto-fascist, light fascist-esque party, right?
Yeah.
So like 2012, before they overthrew the government, 2 million votes, 37 seats gained. Yeah. But like, look since then, right? They're now down to 1 seat. They literally, at the year after the coup happened, the Nazi coup that turned Ukraine into a Nazi country, the Nazi party lost 31 of their seats, and then they lost the next 5 in the next election. Not only that, you see how it has a little A here? Because they had to actually form an alliance with National Corps, Right Sector, UVA, an organization of the Ukrainian Nationalists, and Congress of Ukrainian Nationalists. They literally, the fascist parties were getting so bad like results, and nobody liked them, that they literally had to form a coalition just to attempt to hold together to like get as much of the fascist vote as they could, and they still only got like literally 2%. That's low for fascism. That's fucking low.
What did the APD get in Germany?
Go check out how fucking many votes fascists get in other countries. It's not 2 fucking %.
Yeah.
This is an anti-fascist country, you know?
I mean, look at Italy, literally running the country.
All the way through high school. And so if you look at, for example, high school GPA, which is a very good measure of success,
C14.
take the top 10% of high school students.
We're not talking about Combat 14, which is not a Ukrainian group.
That obviously affects what's going to happen in the college system too.
Today, men make up.
I mean, let's not even talk about the Russian imperial movement and Wagner. Yeah, we won't talk about those guys, or the fact that Donetsk and Luhansk basically told them to go fuck themselves before they started shipping Russians in. Yeah, that never happened. Yeah, okay.
Only 42% of undergraduate students, and for young men of color, the gap is especially alarming. There are now 50,000 fewer black men enrolled in college compared to pre-pandemic levels.
I think that college is becoming a tough call for a lot of men. Not necessarily because college isn't a compelling idea, but rather because there are so many other competing factors that might be equally, if not more so, desirable.
Roderick Carey is like the military. Throw your life away, kid. Delaware. He studies how black and Latino adolescent boys experience school.
Serve the Imperial
Carey says
Corps.
For the young men he works with, problems often begin long before college.
Black and Latino boys grow up in a society that stereotypes them as non-academic, as socially threatening.
This guy's speaking my language. This is all the shit I talk about.
Yeah. This is what they mean by systemic. Like, if anybody wants to know what systemic means, it's low representation in universities. You know what I mean?
Even that, it's just like how many end up graduating because their schools are so underfunded, the staff is so shitty.
I mean, think about that story we watched the other day about that girl, the native girl in Arizona. She dropped out because she couldn't afford it, because she thought that the scholarships were going to help her enough. They didn't. She dropped out. Literal Native American. Like, it's a problem.
You can serve on the council, but you will not have the rank of Jedi Master.
Engage with them in schools.
More women than men now have college degrees, according to U.S. Census data, and they're more likely.
What school was this?
A lot of honkies.
Than men now have college degrees.
They're literally all the same.
According to U.S. Census data, and they're more.
They're probably all sorority girls.
They have a cloning program over there.
It is a cloning program.
Likely to graduate within 4 years compared to men. It's led some colleges to target male students in 4-year degrees, according to U.S.
Engage with them in school.
And they're more likely to graduate within 4 years compared to men.
Okay.
It's led some colleges to target male students as a group in need of extra support.
Interesting.
We're not pretending the problem doesn't exist. We're trying to address it head on.
Jonathan Coppell is president of Montclair State University.
Is this anti-woke?
Don't tell Jordan Peterson about this.
How do you craft a program that works to help men that doesn't come at the expense of women?
Oh, I don't think that this is a matter of either or, and I don't think this is a matter
Excellent
of
fucking
putting the
answer.
needs of female students second. I think it's a matter of asking the basic question, why do we see differential graduation rates when we sort by gender and race? And that's where you really start to see this
Gender
gap
and race.
widen.
Interesting.
More than half of
Great. Excellent. This is actually analyzing the problem at the deeper fucking level. This is good. This is really good. We need more people looking at shit this way.
Montclair State students come from underrepresented groups, and men make up just 40% of total enrollment.
So what are some of the consequences if more young men choose not to go to college?
There's so many consequences. I don't think that means everybody should get a 4-year degree. I don't think colleges
Soon women will
for
be
everyone.
the overlords.
But if you look at the data says in terms of income, in terms of health, in terms of happiness, in terms of life
and then the
satisfaction,
sissification
your odds
will
are better
begin.
with.
I mean, look, realistically, if we're looking at this from a job prospects, money to power to controlling everything, women are pretty set up for it. Like, college degrees do get you higher paying jobs on average. They also get you into qualified jobs, like administration jobs, management jobs, politics, this sort of shit. If women want these jobs, I see no reason why they couldn't be getting them. However, are these degrees 60% nursing degrees? That would be an issue because it's just an example, right? Because that would be an issue having an overrepresentation of degrees. So let's say, okay, 60% of entrants into this university are women, but only 10% of them are in STEM. That's still a problem, right? You
see,
get where I'm
my
coming
head
from?
this whole time has been like, cool, more women in STEM.
I'm saying there's less. That's
I
the
know,
problem.
but the entire time listening to this story, that's where my head has been. It's like, yep, they're going into STEM. All of them going to STEM.
Right,
Great.
but I feel like that's a problem as well. Like, you have to, and this is why I like what this guy's saying, because I feel like he's actually looking at the problem at the actual problem, not just
like doing his job
as a quota fucking level of shit like most universities do.
I just want people to have health care, honey.
A 4-year degree.
In 2022, Montclair State launched what's known as the Male Enrollment and Graduation Alliance, a task force that's now developing programs.
Or maybe it's you that have the weird foreign policy ideas. Have you ever thought of that? Like,
wow, it's crazy.
Is this a genuine question, right? Is this the first time you are hearing this opposition outside of, like, establishment channels? Because we've been saying this shit since the Ukraine war started, before America's State Department even got involved.
Actually, I was able to tell Jack the war was starting before it was started. Remember?
Yeah, I was convinced it wasn't going to happen.
I was too. But like 30 minutes ahead, I said the invasion is happening. And then boom, 30 minutes later, I was right.
Yeah. And it was like, we basically started this at the start of the Ukraine war. We've been covering this the whole time. We've seen every event. We've spoken to so many people. We have so much experience covering Ukraine.
I literally, my career started.
Yes.
During the revolution.
Right? Everything you have said is one of multiple information narratives that we have been tracking coming from the Kremlin, coming from Russia's State Department, the Russian propagandists. They have now partnered with China's information warfare networks to now attack from two angles and solidify their support for each other, which backs up their own narratives, which then leads people like you who may have you may not see China one way, you may see Russia another way. Let's say you don't like China. You start seeing Russia promote Chinese propaganda. You like Russia. So you start associating China with being good as well, right? And now you see, let's say the EV thing, because it's topical and it's current. So the EVs Biden put 100% sanctions on them, right?
I
China
mean,
instantly comes out. All of China's state propagandists, their paid shills, all of
it
these
wasn't
people start coming
100%
out.
sanctions. It was like
100%
30.
tariffs.
Were they that
Sorry.
much?
It was 100%, yes. On EVs, yes.
Hmm.
And they should all be 100%, like perfect tariffs for the EVs, because the cars are paid for, right?
Yeah. I haven't seen anyone else be able to like talk about what the issue actually is. Like I can't think of any other journalists who are able to like dissect that the way we have to like talk about what the actual state issue is.
Yeah. And it's like you start saying this, and then you start saying China's propagandists come and be like, oh no, it's bad, it's evil, they don't want China to. He's doing it, isn't he? Fuck me. Never mind.
No, they didn't. Wealth disparity has continued. They just because the rich got richer and the poor got poorer, which resulted in the medium income raising, doesn't mean that medium income exists. It's just an average. It's not a stat that's actually real.
And you're going to bring up, it's the World Bank or whatever statistic.
It's not a fact. Actually, it's not a fact. It's a median number.
Yeah.
When the poverty rate has been plummeting, just because the rich get richer and the poor get poorer does not mean the economy is better. America is evidence of that.
Let me see if I can find this graph that I pulled up the other week.
China published a map that showed parts of Russia which it stole from China under Chinese control.
Because it's literally like the other thing is China's poverty rate was $1.20 a day. That is 70 cents a day under the literal global standard for poverty, which is $1.90, which is still fucked. So even if hypothetically, let's say,
so what if Janet Yellen there? The Chinese yuan literally hit its lowest mark ever today. Who cares if she went there? Like oh no, the fucking person who is in charge of the economy for the federal office went to one of our like largest trade partners by volume, but not by cost. Like, oh no. Wow, it's almost like their overproduction is fucking up basic supply and demand chain economics.
Literally, the global economy, it's fucking up. It's. I use this example a lot because it's perfect. Government cheese. It's China government cheese. You don't know what that is? Fucking look it up.
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
You want to learn some shitty stuff the U.S. did?
Yeah, there you go. There's some anti-US propaganda.
Speaking of which, have you seen the Chiquita banana shit yet?
No.
Well, there's just like they're facing consequences for the shit that they did for starters. But what's funny is like the Chiquita banana defense. They said something like, they needed the military and shit there because they were being attacked by radical Marxists.
Okay. Anyway, back to the EV thing and the poverty thing. China's poverty rate was like $1.20. Even if they just changed the poverty rates from their standard to the international standard, that raises a lot of people out of poverty, not actually changing anything. Now let's look, for example, after the Mao period when money started coming into China. The poor people didn't start getting rich. In fact, they got poorer. Abject poverty, even, while the party and the party members all got really rich and monopolized.
Like to think that somehow
industry.
Capitalism didn't do capitalism when China let in capitalism.
Exactly.
Like, who are we kidding? We know how capitalism works. It's not a fucking magical country that figured out a way that people fucking pretend that it's communist.
Yeah.
When it's not. State capitalist.
And then on top of that, the EV thing outstripping the US in terms of EVs. Outstripping what? Africa of its resources? What are you talking about? The cars are literally rotting in fields because they're paid for, because these companies use Chinese government subsidies to fucking line their pockets. It's literally at the higher level of China. It is rampant capitalism.
If you send it to me, I'll pull it up.
But like it's just insane.
Depends what it is.
But it tracks. It tracks that you would have.
No, you can't send links in chat. It just doesn't work.
It tracks that you would have these opinions, because as I was explaining before I got interrupted by you having the exact opinions that I was explaining about, I was explaining to you how you come to these conclusions, because I'm aware of how you start in one place and end up in another, because the information networks that we literally track. But yeah. What do you mean? They're not. There's no demand.
Again, we just explained it.
Yeah.
Why would we want to import government cheese?
Yeah.
Also, there's no demand for them. And this started in Europe, especially in the Balkans, where China would park these containers full of EVs that nobody wanted, and they would clog up the shipping infrastructure for these countries that have fragile economies because they're Eastern Europe, right? And then they would have to buy these containers and buy all the EVs. So basically China's forcibly throwing government cheese at people, and people don't want it, so they regulated it. It's really not that fucking hard to understand. Solar panels is to help Mexico. Steel is to help Japan, who are also trade allies of ours. We trade with more than just China, so we're going to do things that benefit other trade partners, so it's not just all going to China. And also, even then, we didn't sell the steel company to Japan when they were here. The whole reason they came to this country was to buy the steel company. And from a business and capitalist perspective, Japan is like, why wouldn't you sell it? You know, it's just business. But America's like, because we feel like it, because we're dumb in America and doing American things.
Like it really is not that hard to understand. I do have a question though before we continue on with this video. Where do you stand on the Philippines and China thing? Because this is an interesting question that I've not asked anybody that's compromised yet. So I'm actually curious.
What do you think of the Congo?
That aim to recruit and retain more men.
So if you're experiencing any level of
we literally just had a tier list where we rated world leaders, and we put Joe Biden on the same level as, like, we put him above Kim Jong-un. I think we put him on.
It was A tier, right?
We put him on the level with Xi.
Yes.
As in they're just as bad.
Yeah.
You are not alone.
That's what I thought.
Danny Jean, the university's assistant provost for special programs, helps lead the initiative. Last spring, he welcomed 300 high schoolers from nearby cities in New Jersey. For many, it was their first time on a college campus.
Please give all of them a round of applause.
For Gene, who grew up in inner-city Newark and later earned a PhD, it was a chance to share his own story.
My family moved over 12 times before I graduated from high school. We were actually homeless at one time and had to move in with family members.
I graduated high school with a 1.9 GPA. A teacher that told me I wouldn't be alive to see 25. Alcoholics in my family, drug users in my family.
You gotta love that. His head teacher said that? Bro.
How make peace with China? How do they make peace with China? What should they do specifically? Where's the no peace? I wasn't aware they were at war.
I'm very yeah. Do you want to see where this happened? Where this conflict happened? I'm just going to show you. Hold on. I'll get a Google Earth out. How about that?
Earth.
Although maybe he thinks the Earth is flat. Who fucking knows? Yeah, living in unreality. Who fucking knows? All right, that is Africa. Oh, okay, where are we? United States. Cool. Saudi Arabia. Here we go. We want to be down here. Okay, we're getting there. It's slow. Cool. Great. All right, here we are. Cool. The Asia Pacific. Here is China. Right here. Right here. You can see my mouse? Yes? Right here? Can I put a thing? Can I use a marker?
You can drop pins, yes.
Boom. Pin. Boom. Right here. Go away. Boom. This is China. This is the second Thomas Shoal. Right here. All the way down here. All the way down here. This is where it happened.
Can you draw a line to see how many miles it is?
Maybe. Let's see. Either way, it's a long fucking way. We're still zooming out. Here we go. All right, lines. Nope, no lines. Anyway, you get the point. This is not China. This is the Philippines. This is China. This is not China. So you're aware.
Very personal for me.
So what have you found that works? What's the key to providing access, and then once students do get admitted, making sure that they're successful?
They really need to understand the benefit of college and help them understand exactly what college can offer.
Oh, here we go. They're teaming up together now. So the Philippines just acting on their own in their own territory is now run by corporate and geopolitical interests. They're fishing, bro. These people are just trying to feed their families.
Well, they're trying to also
they do hit
supply
the
supply a military contingent on a ship that they crashed into an island because of China's imperial aggression. So, also the Philippines kicked the US out.
Wow,
they
it's almost
back.
It's almost like if one country is mean to you, you go to another country for help.
No,
wild. It's like how Russia just went to North Korea to get ammunition.
Yeah, and then they went to Vietnam and signed a partnership with Vietnam. Crazy, right? Vietnam now has partnerships with China.
It's getting US. On Djibouti level at this point with Vietnam.
It really
you know what
is.
I'm saying?
It really
Marco, the Turkey's like I almost said he's dead. He's dead to me. Like
freshman year.
And beyond academic help, Gene says some of the men also need.
Wasn't Duterte like way more pro-China?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
I'm pretty sure he was, because it was...
I just know that he literally filmed campaign ads of him shooting people
former
on the
Philippines
street.
leader Rodrigo Duterte allegedly made a gentleman's agreement with Xi Jinping to maintain the status quo in the South China Sea while he was in office. Interesting.
So, yeah. That's what I thought.
With analysts suggesting Beijing could be using.
He's the only guy who's made a creepier Christmas video than Kevin Spacey.
Oh, and this is from the South China Morning Post as well, by the way. What I'm reading. So, analysts suggesting Beijing could be using the broken pact because they didn't maintain the status quo. Or was that China that broke the status quo with their, oh, look, old map have line on it? I don't know. Which one? You tell
Social and emotional support once they arrive on campus.
McDonald's and Walmart created the Philippines in 1996.
Aims to do just that.
But it has allowed me to be confident.
Also, like,
you cannot
it's also insulting because of what America did there. The Philippines fucking hate America. The fact that they had to like then turn to the Americans is like crazy because there's no reason the Philippines should have any respect or any dealings with America after what America did there.
Yep. And you know what's even funnier now is the Filipinos not a fan of the Chinese anymore. They are not. No. I was talking to one of my Filipino friends, and she was saying that nobody's impressed. Not a single person. So you telling me that the Philippines needs to make peace with China is like Trump telling everybody that Ukraine needs to make peace with
that the
Putin.
war wouldn't happen if he was there. That's basically
fucking
what
ridiculous.
It basically is what it is.
John Mitchell helped lead this group known as the Brotherhood.
So it's important that men
if
get support
these were white
from each
people,
other,
afraid
because we
of
don't
that
get it.
name. You know,
Everybody
Yes.
bottles in their emotions. You have to keep this persona of being a tough guy.
Wow, you mean
Bro,
Marcus
did you
being
not just
murdered?
hear me
Crazy.
talk about how he did campaign videos where he literally killed people on the street and posted
Yeah.
them as campaign ads? Do you think I'm fucking defending Duterte? Remember when I literally just said that he's the only guy who made a creepier Christmas video than Kevin Spacey, who continually makes these weird, creepy videos? Like, literally, he made, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he pulls out a rifle and he's like, leftists, you know, the day of the rope is coming for you. Like,
what the fuck?
I swear to God, it's really that bad. I swear to God, he specifically says Marxist. It might be drug dealers, though, because he really took the war on drugs to a whole new level. He should honestly be, like, he should have been fucking, like, I guess because it's his own people, you don't get hit with the fucking war crime charges. They don't, you know, as long as it's your own people, you can do whatever you want to them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not the way to go.
In the future, I want young men to realize is it's like, it's okay to come out your comfort zone. When you come out your comfort zone, at the end of the day, when you walk in that stage in May, you're going to be grateful for it.
Last month, Mitchell did graduate with a degree in family science. Akenna, a business administration major, will do the same later this year. They say beyond the degree, college is already paying off.
Professionalism, time management, respect among others, how to work with other people, all of that you can learn in college if you do college the right way.
Meantime, back in Brentwood, New York, Yordi Velasquez says he's comfortable with his own decision.
I feel like I'm entering a new chapter of my life, and it's always exciting. You know, I've always wondered what it's like to be a grown-up. So now I get to experience it.
Not fun.
As colleges around the country try to figure out why so many young men are choosing a different path.
Oh, that's right. We're watching a video about why men don't go to school. Whoops. Maybe you should. You can join us.
Okay.